I have been baptized twice, once in water, once in flame. I shall carry the fire of the Holy Spirit inside me until I stand before my Lord for judgment. What is something that you've heard from a video game that rocked your world? It absolutely made you start thinking differently from that day forth. I'd say there's a lot of things in Fallout New Vegas for me that rocked my world and made me start living differently from that day. But definitely one of the biggest things for me personally was meeting Joshua Graham. One of the reasons I love Joshua Graham is not just because of his voice. That sounds amazing, and all of his very famous quotes, but what it meant to me at that time in my life. So I would suppose if someone would play through that DLC and you are not religious whatsoever, it like doesn't hit, you know? I get it. But for me, that meant a lot as somebody who in my life at that time when I was 12 years old, shortly after Fallout New Vegas came out, I was dealing with my own demons. I had been raised going to church with my grandparents before my parents moved us away from Pennsylvania. And I really did not enjoy just sitting there in the Lutheran church services, listening to the Bible. And then Sundays, they would send me to Sunday school as well after church. And then sometimes we'd go to church during like the middle of the week at night or something. Like they would just have services at random times and stuff. It wasn't only on Sundays. And I was just like over it. And I didn't feel really connected to God. I didn't feel very religious. If anything, I was kind of like against it as a preteen. But there was something about that DLC and talking to Joshua and feeling the way that I felt. I was having trouble with my religion because my parents moving me all the way to Florida at a young age from Pennsylvania made me feel very misplaced, and I just wasn't happy. And I blamed a lot of it on the Lord. I was like, Lord, if you're real, why would you do this to me? So, long story short, I'm very religious nowadays, and I believe in God, and I don't blame God for something like that. But it started with having Fallout as a medium to help my brain think like that. What is it for you? What game for you did that?